Hey, it's me, Annalisa, with my spiritual friend. Sorry I'm a little later tonight. We had a late start to our nighttime routine. So I hope everybody's doing well. I have there's only two of you here. I normally give you much more of a time frame to get on and go live. So as per usual, all readings and divinations are for the purposes of entertainment only. Hi Mallory, Snow White. You're new, I think. Stephen Colon. Ken, hi, welcome back, everybody. So all readings and divinations are for the purposes of entertainment only. I am not a lawyer, doctor, therapist, or I am a spiritual advisor, therapist or financial advisor. If you need one of those, seek those. I have a quick, you guys always want to, some people have asked about donations and things like that, and I don't take any for this. That's why it's called free. But I have a special request tonight. So my cousin is stationed in Afghanistan right now. And he's normally, when he's home in the States, he's a police officer for one of the suburbs of Chicago, one of the suburb cities of Chicago. And he has been helping with volunteering with the Special Olympics of Illinois since he was a little boy. And he still does, every year he does a polar plunge in Lake Michigan, and they did it today. But since he's in Afghanistan, he couldn't anyway, so he's fundraising for it. And since he's in Afghanistan, he couldn't, so he did a little video and they poured on. I can link it on here, but maybe if you guys would be willing to donate to that, I would really, really love it and really appreciate it, because the Special Olympics is an amazing, amazing cause. And my cousin is an amazing guy. He gives all the time. He has the biggest heart in the world. Nicest kid when he was a kid. He's a grown man now. He's ginormous. So whatever this thing is that they have behind him in the video, I don't even know what this machine is, but it's huge because my cousin is 6'3" or 4. So anyway, so I'm going to post that on the link after this. So if you guys want to donate, that would be the best, biggest way to pay me back and pay it forward to for my cousin to raise more money for an amazing, amazing cause. Because I volunteered for Special Olympics when I lived in Wisconsin and absolutely loved it. And the participants and athletes are so incredible and so inspirational. So that's my spiel. That's what I'm doing. Happy Sunday, happy Monday if you're somewhere where it's Monday. Shoot. Forgot to plug this in. Sorry, guys. All right, work is done. Let's do this. Look at y'all, just hurry up and get your questions in. Didn't even listen. Okay. Rose, any messages for you? Rose, have you been a little down lately? Because I just feel like as soon as I clicked on yours, and I kind of sat and I just felt down. And I literally see, like, I don't know, it's like drinking a cup of tea, and they just sort of said, look for the littler things right now. Stop getting too focused on the big stuff, because the little stuff is really what's going to help you find you and pick you up. Does that make any sense? I'm just hoping it wasn't. Danny, thank you. I'll just wait a minute to see if you respond, Rose. Okay. Yeah. Not Rosewater. Oh, Rose. Okay, still fighting. Oh, maybe that's what I'm feeling. So I feel like, I don't know if there's some herbal tea or something, because I saw like needing to drink tea. So maybe that would also, it just feels like making sure you're taking some time to really kind of not just, emotionally take care of yourself and take that time out. I heard a pick me up is on its way. So I don't know if someone's coming to do something really nice for you, but it feels like I'm seeing 4, so I don't know if it's March 4th, but it feels soon. So it doesn't feel I'm having to wait all the way till April because that doesn't feel very soon. Hang in there, Miss Rose. Oh, enjoy your cup of tea. um, Danny 333. Will my disability determination go in your favor? Yes. Yes. And I feel like more than you know. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. It's funny. I saw your name. I thought this feels familiar, but I guess maybe not. Snow White. Honestly, I feel like no, and I literally feel like somebody like trying to just like I feel like he's like pulling you off. Like it's like almost like if you think of like an octopus with their arms around you and you're just like pulling it off. It feels like I don't know if you broke up because he said he felt suffocated or something like that because that's like that feeling of like just I need space. Um This is not always what you wanna hear. I am not gonna be the person who tells you what you wanna hear. I've given people private readings, and they've said, That's not really what I wanted to hear." I will not tell you what you wanna hear. I will tell you what I see. It is, sometimes, I do see a light at the end of the tunnel, but I don't see it at with this gentleman. I feel like it's, about your own healing and sort of recognizing and healing some of the things, the belief systems that you have that sort of created this unhealthy dynamic with him. I would suggest, especially if you're into manifesting, focusing on healing that core inner part that created that. And maybe it'll bring him back, or maybe it'll be that once you heal that, you'll realize this person wasn't really healthy for you. And you'll sort of seek out somebody who's more in line with the newer, the healed you. All right, Mallory. This is so weird. So I was like, all right, Tony, what you got this week? And I heard, I don't know if you guys were Ghostbusters fans, but you know how like there's that whole montage clip where it's like, what's her name? Potts is like, we got one. And then you hear like we got one, we got one. And it's like, then all the music and them running around and going to like all these different ghost busting things. So I don't know what that means. But we do know that he only gives me little snippets and then you sort of figure out what it is. I don't know if there's going to be a lot of activity this week, and that's sort of why it was that little montage, or if that's like something that you guys share together. But that was what I immediately heard. Did something just flash up here in the corner of the screen? This way. I still haven't figured out like when I put my finger really close. Oh, it did. Okay. So that was really cool then. It's not a piece of whatever thing. The last I did, you know what it was? Right, I realized right after Kobe died, I did a thing and I saw the 2 different orbs. And I asked my friend about it. I was like, well, who do you? Because I, like doctors know doctors. nurses know nurses, that kind of thing, while psychics know psychics and like people in the metaphysical field. And so I asked my friend, I'm like, you go look at this. What do you think of that? And she said, "But one of you who was watching needed that as validation for something." So, um, also, since our friend Rose that's comes here with us is battling cancer right now. If you pray, you send energy. If you're a healer, if you could send Rose some energy kind of throughout the week and see if we can perk her up, because she usually doesn't feel this low to me, I would really appreciate it. Okay. Thanks, Dusty Rose. That's a good idea, by the way. I stole it. Mallory, does that make any sense, by the way, the whole Ghostbuster thing? um, Rose, if I could give you a big hug, I would. I feel like you just need like somebody there to give you a gigantic hug. All right, so there is no medical, Lily, I'm going to just say this. There is no medical proven that chaga tea helps cure cancer. However, if it's in line and okay to take with your medications per your doctor, why not give it a try? I do try to keep things like really, like I don't want to start promoting stuff that could get me into legal trouble. So that is what I will always say. That's what I would say have said as a nurse. You've been feeling him so much. So that's like that validation of that. Don't use initials. Give me a name, please, if you can. That's usually helpful. Okay. So Ellen R's question, what do you see coming for you in the next month or so? Change. It's going to be a big month of change. That was the first word that heard was change. Lots and lots of change, lots of movement, things moving around. So it's like, it's interesting. They're showing me chess pieces. So however the change is happening, it's like very, when you play chess, I actually have never played chess, but from what I've seen by observing somebody play chess, it's methodical, it's thought out, it's planned, it's not hasty and rash. Checkers can be, I mean, I guess it's thought out, but like it's a lot of thought goes into it. So it doesn't feel like things are happening hastily, but it just feels like there's a lot of movement going around this coming month. And I feel like April will kind of be settled out and you'll feel like, okay, now I can get down to business. Sorry, I still am a little, not too bad. I'm getting better. My neck is still a little tight. Whatever this was, but I know I'm not the only one. It just hung out. So I hope some of y'all are feeling better, because I know some of you were not feeling well either. Hi, Stephen. Currently looking for a part-time job. I do have something in mind, but not sure. Any insight on your situation, please? So they're showing me 2 and 3. So I feel like you either have 2 or 3 resumes out, or 2 or 3 interviews lined up, but it's like there's something, and it's not the second time, but the third time is where you'll get the job. But they're sort of saying like, they make me feel like you're sort of the glass is half empty kind of guy. Like, oh, like I always call it Eeyore energy, like, oh, me, woe is me. This is not a bad thing. There are a lot of people that are like this, but what I'm trying to ask you to do is manifest and just see yourself. Don't worry about how it has to happen and all the details and everything else. Just see yourself accepting a job or starting your first day at a job. Don't even worry about what it is. See it that you got the pay that you need to get, the hours that you need to get, whatever. Just see yourself starting at that first day and think in your head, like, I'm so grateful that I got this job and I got the pay that I needed. Like say the amount that you wanted or whatever. And this kind of benefits or whatever else. It's such a great job to work at. And there's so many nice people here. I'm so grateful for it. As if you already have it. Don't worry about the title of the company or your boss's name or who you're interviewing with or any of that stuff. Just those details and you'll get what you need. That's what I feel is really important to you. Try and steer away from like the sort of woe was me type thing. But I feel like it's something about 2 or 3. So usually when I talk this fast, it's kind of moving through me. So 2 or 3. So like you put out 2 resumes, or you put out, I don't know, something about the 2 or 3. So I don't know what it is. It's like feels like maybe I put out 2, but it's the third resume then I put out that I get, or the interview, or it's 2 or 3 interviews. It's just something about that. It seems very specific. And I feel like it's coming quickly. I don't feel like you're going to be waiting and waiting, waiting. I feel like in March you'll have accepted a position for sure. Did I write your name? I did not, Stephen Colon. Oh, the donations for my cousin. I'm gonna set the link at the very bottom. Like once I hang up, I'll click, or once I hang up. Once I disconnect on the stream, I'll go in and put all the links in. It's gonna be to the because he's got one through his like the police officers of his town are doing it. So it goes to the Illinois Special Olympics, or the Special Olympics of Illinois. I'll post everything afterwards, even the video that he did. He really is, honest to God, the sweetest guy. And he really, everything he does, just does so much volunteer work, and he has the biggest heart. Even when he was like 16, he was like, without me having to ask him, carrying all my bags to the car when I had my daughter, and my oldest was little bitty. He's just very thoughtful, and never, doesn't complain, and just a really good person. Like, bought so many ridiculous amount of cookies for my daughters last year when they were selling Girl Scout cookies, like without even hesitating. Just a nice guy. So if we can help him out, that would be really, really awesome. Okay. Oh my goodness. Sorry, y'all. Oh, Stephen, Danielle, W. When will your mom, Victoria, get her own apartment? Sorry, I literally heard not soon enough. Again, they're showing me like 2 or 3 months. So I don't know if that's when she starts looking. And then there's something about the 6-month mark. So I don't know if it's that she gets a short-term 6-month lease, or if she moves in at the 6-month thing, because whatever she can afford is not available until then. But I actually do feel like she'll get like a free month or something in there when she does finally get her apartment. So hang in there, not too much longer. And in the long term, that isn't that long. Although it can feel that way, right? Breezy living, your spirit guides. This room is so cold. I don't know why your spirit guides are going to the who's on first routine. I don't even really know it, but they just started like, it's like they're like wise guys. Oh, I'm like, what do you want to do with this? So they said that just take more time to kind of relax and joke around a bit, and not be, you are a very highly organized person, and like sort of do first get this stuff done. And they're sort of like telling you to relax and take, because like everything's in line and in place. And like the way I feel is like all your plans are set so much so that everything will run itself and fall into place. Like if you hit it one domino and then it does that, and they set up those huge long lines of dominoes, and they do all these, like, it's like, you don't have to do anything. You just like, you can sit back and relax a little bit more, is the feeling I get. Did I type your name? I don't know. I hope so. Yes. It's interesting. I see a lot of you tonight. I'm just like kind of glancing real quick, and you're all very concerned about how other people feel about you. And I wonder what that energy is going on about, if there's maybe some planetary thing that we're feeling a little sensitive to other people's stuff. Music for the vibe. Do I see you graduating in May? Yes, absolutely. I do. I do. You got it. Though I don't think you're done with school. Oh, wait, that wasn't for Breezy. Sorry. Sorry, I typed your name twice. That's music for the vibes. I don't think you're done with school, though. As my friend said, you might be a lifer. It's not a bad thing. It just feels like there's a lot of education in there coming for you. Ken, any messages for you? I feel like I'm hearing like the way like a broken record is, and they're like, oh, it's like a broken record, and I'm trying to ask them what that means. Like, it just feels like I don't know if you feel like you're being a broken record, like you're having. I just see you with your partner, and it just feels like it's like a broken record. It's like ugh, over and over and over, like you guys going around in circles with communication. It feels like it's been a long chunk of time, but I feel like by May, it's over. By May, and I know I just said to her about May, but sometimes things overlap that way. But I feel like by May, you found a common ground and a way to communicate with each other that's a little bit more effective and understood. Like you finally you start addressing the real issue rather than like kind of going around in circles with like annoyances. And I actually feel like it's someone you feeling a little bit more underappreciated. Not sure if this makes any sense. And finding your voice to say like, hey, this would really be helpful if hey King, let me know if that makes any sense, Ken. You know what? I'm going to end questions pretty much because I'm seeing like you guys have so many already. And I really don't want to be here for 2 hours. Laura H. Why do I see you in a sea of boxes? Are you moving or is your office moving? I just feel like I'm stuck in all these boxes. I'm doing better. Thank you, King. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. Ken, did any of that make sense to you? Laura H. How about you? I really hope that you guys aren't posting questions and leaving the channel. Hey, there's 30 of you here. Hit those likes, man. I'm so demanding tonight. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just for now, I'm going to end and no new questions because I feel like it's taking a little bit. So if you've got one, not that you know of, I won't be surprised if there's some kind of changes or movement going at work. So you might find out, and it might not be like that. It just feels like moving. I just see you in all this sea of boxes and like not being able to find your way out of it. Or maybe somebody brings in a whole bunch of files. I don't really know what it is, but it's just, there's all these boxes around you. Okay. It could be something you find out about soon, Laura. I'll include the link for donation afterwards for my cousin's thing. Sorry, I like typed it weird. No new questions. Okay. Oh, Craig, hurry up and ask your question since you and I typed that at the same time. Um, Let me think, Laura. They're showing a party hat and blowing balloons. Is it your birthday celebration? Then it'll validate the boxes. Birthday or celebration? Okay. No name one. Come on. Thank you, hey, hey. You would learn something from just listening. You're welcome, Laura H. Does the celebration make any sense? No. Okay. All right. Well, Ken must have disappeared on me. Love to know if that made any sense to him. Okay, Regine. General reading. I heard this is pay attention to the details. So it just feels really important that you pay attention to the details, especially this week, that everything is signed right, that everything is like every detail at work, that just because it feels like, I don't know, it just feels like really, really pay attention to the details this week. That it's a really important week for you to pay attention to details. It feels especially on paperwork because that's what I feel. I see you writing and everything feels like very small and very focused. So it feels like that. I don't know if you're planning on signing paperwork or whatever. I know some people will go, oh, we're in Mercury retrograde. Don't ever sign contracts. I don't think that. I don't really believe in that. It's not that I don't believe that like things can't get wonky at certain times, but I really believe that it sort of is just like be more diligent during that period of time. The EDC festival, Rochelle, it'll be fine. It'll be good. I do feel like you're going to be really exhausted and need a vacation from the afterwards. You might even win a little pot of money. Moni, will you and Omar reconcile soon? I feel like some kind of change happening in 6 months, but not anytime immediate. I don't know if you're doing the manifesting thing and it's sort of like you put it out there, but it feels like something significant in 6 months will occur to shift things. Sonia. So what I get, which will help you with your healing gifts, is really, really cleaning up your input. So what you take in into your body and consume as far as eating and drinking, making sure you're sleeping enough. Also like the people and the energy around you feels very important. So try not to, when you have those friends that are gossipy and things like that, just kind of like steer clear. Don't really give too much of your own energy to that. And also where you're learning your information about energy and belief systems about how all that works feels very, very important. I read a lot of spiritual stuff, people's quotes, things like that. And there are so many things that I totally disagree with or think that it's, even though they're spiritual, metaphysical, it's still lending towards the idea of evil and good and bad, and there's this devil and negativity out there. Like, I sort of don't subscribe to that thought process. Um, so I just feel like it's like being really aware of what you're consuming and bringing into your body feels very important. But that you don't have to do anything. And it also feels like working on your breathing so that you can relax a little bit more and understand that it's when you're doing any kind of healing, it's not your energy. You're just sort of you're a conduit. You're a vessel that it runs through you. So it's not your energy really at all that you're doing to heal others. I'm not sure if I typed your name, so go ahead, type it again. Happy vibes. What do your finances look like in 2020? Good, but I feel like you're gonna take a little bit of a hit in November, is what I hear. So don't let that make you nervous. It doesn't feel like hit, like, oh my God. It just feels like a little bit of a dip and then you'll come right back up. So don't panic when it happens. And of course, ladies and gentlemen, I can always be wrong or you can manifest something different. Remember that. Araceli, in regards to your marriage. So I do feel like a little bit of a rut. Sort of like you need to put the excitement back into it. I keep seeing him watching TV. So it feels like honestly that you need to do the planning to make it like it's like hoping he'll become this romantic whatever. He's just really comfortable and he's in that mode. So it's like plan a date, go do stuff if you want him to get off the couch. If you're fine with him there, don't change a thing. But I just keep seeing him in front of TV. It's really Thank you, Rochelle. King, I know everybody wants me to do readings on all the like all of the political crap that's going on. And honestly, I've been like really focusing on pulling my energy up and not being in the political arena. All I said was it wouldn't surprise me if Bloomberg made it in just because in my video that I did of like the reading the original candidates, which pretty much all of them are gone now. I kept seeing a B like a B squared. So it wouldn't surprise me if it's Bloomberg because he's Bloomberg with the two hard B's in his name. I don't know. So he gets such mixed reviews because I think that he would, even though he's got like some stuff that's like not that great in the past, I do feel like he would pull us out of the rut that our current president has put us in. And I know some of you like our current president, to each their own, but there's some messed up stuff that's kind of going on. I don't know. Oh, it's. I'm Sharon. I'm going to get to Craig, but I'm going to get to Craig in the order that all of these people are. King is someone who has been around forever. And sometimes I just have a little conversation during these things and just relax. Everybody breathe. I'm here to the end. There is no need to panic. All right, Rosewater, you're up. I feel like stay this course that you're doing really, really well. It just kinda like I feel like they show the little cars in, like, cartoons, and they're like, "Just bump it along on the road." That's what I keep saying, "Just bump it along on the road, doing a good job." Um, Something significant coming up for you in April, feels like. I don't know if it's like an increase in pay or an increase in clients, but whatever it is, it feels like a little boost of money in April for you. Hi, Kai Kai. Is your dad in spirit? So here's the thing I want to tell you guys about energy, which I think is really interesting, and it might not make sense to you, but when you read energy, so unless a spirit comes in and says like makes themselves known, like I've passed over, um, if I look at a picture, I can't necessarily tell if someone is past unless they come in and start talking, or if I'm just reading the energy, like what it's called. God, now I can't think of the name of it. But if I'm just reading the energy of a picture, I can't necessarily tell that if someone has passed or not. And that's the truth because energy doesn't die. Like someone's energy doesn't shift in a difference of like I'm alive or dead. If they come into me and come visit me as a spirit, then I know, oh, you've passed over. And oftentimes they'll tell me how they passed or something like that. Um, so someone in a coma feels pretty much the same as someone who's alive. Um, Someone who like so when someone has Alzheimer's, they oftentimes astral travel, and it's the same thing. So I'm sort of at a loss here to say, like, I'm assuming your dad has crossed over. He's not stepping through, but the feeling I get is that he's fine. But I have to be honest, I'm not 100% certain on if that's what you mean. And maybe for some people, they can tell the difference right away, but uh, I guess to me, energy is always living. It just changed forms, and I don't always know unless and maybe that's not magical. He passed away 4 months ago. Do you have a name? Just the feeling I get is that he's fine. Um, I don't know if he had Alzheimer's though, because I keep also feeling very confused and confusion, or some form of dementia, or something that would have affected his brain and being aware of what's going on. And then maybe something also here. Um, this is like right at my shoulder or my neck area because I don't know if he had something wrong with that because I'm keep pulling to this area. This is my right shoulder, by the way, just in case anything's flipped when you watch it. Kai. Um, Lily, I actually don't feel like he'll regret it. And that pattern of behavior also just screams to me narcissistic. Um, I don't know why when you wrote that, that's the first thing that came to my mind was he's a narcissist. So then you enable him. So I would look at what codependent behavior is and enabling and look at see if that feels like it kind of vibrates with you because that's everything that I'm reading there. And no, I actually don't feel like he'll regret it or I feel like what he'll do is turn it around on you and be like, oh, blah, blah, blah. She did all of this, either make up stuff about you or find a way to blame you. And that's the truth. Let me see what Kai Kai if you said anything. Emily, I'm not taking any new and Sarah 214, I'm not taking any new requests. You're welcome, Lily. Sorry, I know it's not what you wanna hear, especially when we feel like we've been treated wrong, sort of before we get into a healed state and, like, truly fully, like, embracing ourselves and putting ourselves first. We sort of want somebody else to feel terrible about the way they've treated us instead of, like, looking at, like, "Well, what boundaries can I set?" Because I love myself enough to have those boundaries, and boundaries are super, super important. Stephanie, what's your soulmate like? So, I don't believe in soulmates. I don't believe in twin flames. I think that's a bunch of hogwash, poo-poo garbage that somebody wrote about and it just got regurgitated a million times, as a way to not, like, have to be introspective about, like, well, maybe this relationship has this push and pull and this weird, like, attraction and then this, like, fiery fighting and back and forth because there's, like, some old belief systems we both hold that are opposing to each other that are dysfunctional and we need to sort of like focus on those behaviors. um I know that's not what everybody wants to hear, but that's what I believe, and I believe that we are here to learn through our relationships. So that being said, do I think that there's soul families and that we all sort of like kind of reincarnate together? Absolutely, 100%. And I think there are people that we are more attracted to or spend more lifetimes in like remote romantic relationships or um, the parent-child rotation, um, or sibling rotation for a reason. Um, they're not telling me there's one actually. They're telling me there's two you'll have to choose from. So I feel like there'll be two gentlemen that come in around the same time, and it'll be end up being really a choice of yours that they will either one will end up challenging you and forcing you to grow, and like they'll serve sort of a similar purpose. I know that doesn't sound very romantic, but um, we all will sometimes like repeat certain behaviors and relationships as a way to learn, and once we've learned it, that relationship pattern sort of ceases to exist, so we stop making friends that are all similar, or we stop working for bosses that are all the same, or we stop having romantic relationships that are the same because we've learned what we needed to learn. They served their purpose. So you'll learn what you need to learn, but it feels like there's a choice between two, and it does feel several years out yet. I'm not sure if I typed your name, Stephanie. Lisa, my thoughts on spirit orbs. Well, you witnessed a couple. Um, I think that oftentimes, so they can be so orbs, I feel like are more often than not loved ones who have crossed over. But then you can also see energy, lights and flecks of energy. And some of you may see them when you turn the lights off if you're in a totally dark room. And it's like I used to see where it looked like, when if you're young enough, TVs like you used to, it would be on a non-channel, it would be like the fuzz. Well, I would see almost like all of these little sparkles of white all over. Um, Sometimes I'll see a lot of sparkles of pinks and blues and greens. Um, and like I teach my daughters and they see them too, although my one daughter says she gets annoyed with them. She gets annoyed with spirit. They just bug me. I'm like, okay. Um, my other daughter is fascinated. My middle daughter is fascinated by all of it. But so yeah, it's just like different energies. But orbs I feel like are more related to loved ones who have crossed over. Same thing as like black blobs. If you see them, a lot of times it's not scary, bad stuff. It's actually friendly. Um, okay, I heard so KK, I heard for VJ, I heard it's not out of the realm of possibility, but probably not is what I heard. So it doesn't mean it's 100% no. It just feels like it's not out of the realm of being impossible, but it's leaning towards a probably not. I don't know why I feel like you get fed up and tired. Blue storm. Any messages on any topic? Um, I literally heard things are looking up in the financial department. And don't go to the idea of like, I don't know if you do this a lot, but it's the feeling of like, they're like, don't wait for the shoe to drop, like the other shoe to drop. Like, don't think that, oh, because it's going well, something's going to go wrong. It's like, sort of just maintain focus, like money keeps coming in, I'm doing well, everything's great. Don't shift to the negative. It's so important what your thoughts are. It's so, so, so important. Your feelings and I mean, we really do create a lot of stuff in our world, even the bad stuff. Believe it or not, it gets created. Stella Blue, yes, you will get married, but it's not for a while. It feels a little while out there. Ellen, you're so cute. I listen. I know, because I'm like, nobody's listening. Everybody's typing all their questions. Visa marks. This is weird. I hear that little these little kids thing, rain, rain, go away, come again another day. So I don't know if you're going on vacation. This is the only reason why I'm going to vacation, because I'm not saying I'm not seeing an airplane or a cruise ship, but I just feel like I'm looking at the weather. I'm keep focusing on the weather and hoping that it doesn't rain at a specific time, because I don't know if you're going on vacation or something and hoping that it won't. Like, literally, I don't understand this. This is the only thing I can relate this, hearing that little thing for, but it's like rain, rain, go away, come again another day. But that's what I keep getting. Also, I don't know if you have an issue with migraines, or because it's almost like I feel like my eyes, like it's the light and I can't focus or something like that. So if this is the case, it just feels like it may be related to needing your vision tested. And I can always be wrong with that. I don't know. It could be, I just feels like weather related, like hoping the weather is okay. So, but I'm migraines, very light sensitive. Okay. So then there's something with the weather and travel or whatever, like is focused on there. But I also feel like maybe if you got your eyes checked, and they also said mind your diet. There's something you're eating that's triggering your migraines, maybe that you haven't been aware of, like maybe cashews or something. But there's something triggering them that you're not really paying attention to in your diet. Um, Sorry, I just lost what time I was on. Oh, there I am. Sorry. Thank you to everybody, like my new subscribers and my old subscribers and all of that stuff. I so appreciate it. Sorry, there's this lull in time here. Sarah 214, any messages for you? So they keep showing me one of my good friends, and It's just that feeling, so this is, like, she's really good at, like, making jokes about things and sort of, like, not wanting to, like, talk about the things that are going on in her life and sort of, like, really kind of internalizing a lot of stuff. Um, so they're pulling me to that. Did there was there another oh, no, that's this. Uh, so it's, like, sort of, like, internalizing a lot and, like, being very, very stressed out and worrying a lot, and I feel like to the point that you need to, pay attention there because 'cause they're pulling me towards health concerns that this person has. So, I'm looking at blood pressure being an issue and cholesterol being an issue. So I don't know if that makes any sense, but that's the feel I get when I think of that they're pulling to me to when I'm thinking of this person. Um, can you validate any of that? Craig, I'm gonna get to you, dude, but I have all those other people that ask questions up ahead of you, okay? You've been dealing with that and with a lot of anxiety. I feel like if you don't sort of like find tools to help you overcome that, there's going to be like, you need to like, it might be that the anxiety is sort of doing like even just a temporary elevation of your blood pressure, but I feel like it's going to have effects on your health. So I can be wrong, but I don't know if you're in therapy or if you can get in therapy if you're insured or whatever, but I would highly, highly recommend it. And learning like they'll give you tools and things like if it's not just medication, but teaching you different forms of meditation or like one of my friends has really just debilitating anxiety, and I just like amazing person. And one of the things she tries to keep in mind is would any normal person have anxiety about this situation, or is this um, something that's like, out of nowhere that like, so it's like not normal, but you know what I mean? Like, would this be a generalized, like, yeah, anybody would be anxious if this happened, or no, most people would be like, this is like kind of out of left field. So I just feel kind of like, um, I know, but I understand it still feels like needing to go and kind of get help for it. It doesn't feel like I can handle this all on my own. So when they're showing me somebody who's handling all on my own, and by the way, this friend of mine worried about her fertility. That's interesting that you're saying that. Not the anxiety one, the other one. And she had children later and they're on. So um, Jill, why are you coming up with panic attacks? You tend to make things bigger and the what ifs. I know that's what anxiety does. It feeds into that like scary place. So I just feel like it would really behoove you, and I'm going to keep going with this, to go to therapy and find someone to talk it out with, because our friends are not always our good therapists. Like some people are really great, but friends aren't really like that. That's what I learned through going through my own therapy and doing my healing work, was that like I don't really share a lot about myself with my friends. I mean, I sort of do, but like I also like don't look to them to be my necessarily my emotional support, because some of them aren't really in the place to do that, nor do they have the belief systems that are healthy enough to do that. So it just feels like really it would be beneficial, and also that you would get some tools to help you deal with the anxiety, kind of lead you in the right direction. Um, I will tell you, I have read for a lot of people, and I always said, as soon as you relax, you'll get pregnant. And then other people, even when I worked in the NICU, I remember saying to one person, I said, as soon as you relax, your babies will latch. And this was before I ever had kids. And they thought to breastfeed, latch to breastfeed. And I got looked up and snapped at by another nurse for saying that. But literally, as soon as she found out, this woman found out she could go home, her one kid, like they both just latched. And I was like, told ya. So I didn't say I told you really, but that's what I was thinking. Um, it just feels like if you can work on that, the rest of it will be a little easier. David, I'm not taking any new questions, okay? Same thing, Vicky. But come see me next week. Craig, I'm actually, just because I saw this, is there anyone there to contact you? I'm actually not feeling any buddy stepping forward as of now. Emily, please, please, please write your question with a name. I despise when people give astrological signs because I don't really care about astrological signs. And basically, you are totally anonymous on here. So you got to give me something. I can't hear your voice to ring into your energy. I can't see your face. Katie Ray, no. Sorry, I just saw that. No, you should not stop taking your iron supplements. Lisa Rose still okay. Baby doll, anything for you. I keep getting, and this is going to sound so silly, change your name. Do not go by baby doll because it's setting you in the same like energy of not fully growing into your own and not sort of owning your adultness. And like, it's really important that you change the energy of that. It's like not either not wanting to grow up or not wanting to stand on my own or not believing in myself enough. And it just feels like you need to like sort of grow into your own. Dusty Rose, any messages for you? Do you have a cough right now? I just heard a harsh cough. I already did yours. Just gonna remove this one. Carmen, I feel like no, Mike is not upset with you, but I feel like you get you overanalyze and you get really nervous then, and like he's sort of like, oh, I was just like off in the distance thinking about pizza, and you're like, oh my god, did I do something wrong? Because he's so quiet. Like it's like that kind of like he feels much more simple than you give him credit for. You're Brianna. Brianna, own your name. No more baby doll. Joel Carter, you keep typing things and I don't really all right, well. Oof. Sorry, I'm just trying to some of you type things over and over again and it's like kind of throwing me when I look back. So I'm like, oh, I was here. And they're like, nope, I'm not. And if you read my thing, it says only ask your question one time. Some of you just type them 8 billion times and it's throwing me off. Elizabeth Lynn, no, it was not Ben who tried to hack your account. Okay, hang on. Okay. Oh, that was the very next one. Good job. Okay. Yeah, no, it wasn't. It feels like someone you don't know, like just a rando type bot type thing. Um okay. Hey Baseman, can you trust William as a true friend? Can you trust William as a true friend? Yeah, you can, but I still feel like even though I'm telling you that, you'll be on guard about it, and that's okay. Um, People have to earn the right to your story. So just keep that in mind. People have to earn the right to your story. So don't, hold your cards close to you for a little while with this person, but I don't feel like they're out to get you or anything. Rachel, how does your boyfriend Nick truly feel about you? I feel like at times he feels like overwhelmed. You can be a little overwhelming. So I don't know if it's like the emotional thing is a lot for him. Because I feel like he's also just not really emotionally mature or in touch. And it's not necessarily his fault. It was just never really learning how to process and deal with his own emotions. So it's like somebody else's is like way overwhelming. Um, I heard it's good. So I'm not seeing anybody walking down the aisle. They're not showing me that, but it just shows that, it doesn't feel super, super long term, but it doesn't feel like it's going to end abruptly or, with fireworks and all kinds of crazy things happening. It doesn't mean you won't get married or anything like that. They're just like not showing me that's not where it's going. Again, you can always manifest to move in that direction and step into a different timeline. Um, Alan R., did I skip you? Shoot, I can't go all the way back. Ellen, can you retype yours? I don't feel like Gabs. I don't feel like JJB knows what happened in the last year. That's what I get. Like, it just feels like off the grid or just totally in his own world of his own stuff. Cosmic YT, I don't like astro signs, to be honest with you, because like, look at, I don't even, I like names, really and truly. No one's going to find you out here, but I feel like no on that one. Oh my God. Please, please, please only type your questions once. It's really, really a lot. Because the other thing is I see so many questions typed, and if you've typed your question 30 times, I might close the session earlier. So you might have locked out some people that could have gotten a chance to get a question one time only. And if you're my oldies but goodies, remind them right away. Because I don't necessarily see those. I don't start looking at stuff right away, but Katie Ray, answer that. You should not stop taking your iron supplement, though I should feel like you should get something that's more tolerable to your stomach, that's more agreeable with your gut. Oh my God. Sarah 214. Put you on violation. Kidding. Okay. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up and see through. Oh, I'm glad you were drawn to this, Sarah. You keep asking it's the same question so many times. Priya, which career should I go with? Writing or advocacy? Screaming advocacy. Screaming advocacy at me is what I feel. And were you the one I said a while ago would be like some kind of, I don't remember if I did, but yeah, I felt advocacy 100%. I feel like you might do some writing in advocacy, but I felt advocacy very strongly. You're a very empathetic person, and it would be, and you're also very determined. So it feels like it would be a great fit for you. Will you marry BJ? KK? Oh, I think I already said that, answered you. Did I answer KK? And Ellen, did you type yours again for me, love? Priya, yeah, you only posted once. Welcome, Priya. I did read Ellen. Okay, good. Because I got a thing. I said, what is all that going on over there? Okay. All right. Hi, Lara. Okay, let me go back up. And anybody who wants a private reading, you can email me at annalisa@myspiritualfriend.com. I make all of my contact stuff very easy. Oh, crap. I forgot what time I was at. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Thanks for hanging in there with me. You know, we're going long. I'm okay. Oh, there's Mallory. There's Sarah written. Name's Priya. Dusty Rose KK. I got that one. Ellen R. Okay, I got your question. Emily. Oh. I don't get feelings about that one. So I get like sort of like you're very closed off, you're very like it's almost like energetically you keep everything so tight they like sort of not even aware of it. I have a very dear friend who she is like 6 feet tall, and I laughed at her. I said, "You are so tall." I said, "And somehow you can be a room full of people and like make yourself completely invisible." And it sort of feels like that same kind of feeling of like being able to finding a way to make yourself invisible, and I feel like not even really aware of it. So I don't feel like your Libra, even though I really hate when people do this, is very aware of you or your energy. Craig, I'm still not feeling any energy step forward, okay? Oh, thank you, Blue Storm. For all my old subscribers that are always here and ever so supportive, thank you for letting everybody know in the room that timestamps get, because everybody types in at the same time, et cetera, that things get thrown into different orders sometimes. Oh, Lisa, I don't know if you're still here. If that's the video my friend sent me earlier, and I felt like, I don't know if she told you this, but I felt like it was a young male energy, because I saw someone like walk, and I actually sat and watched it several times to make sure that it wasn't condensation on the thing or anything like that. And I just kept feeling the male energy, but I always go to the logical side. What could this be logically? What could logically explain this going on? And I don't know that it was necessarily, if that's the same thing, I don't know that it was necessarily visiting you so much as just making itself known. More about your understanding that that stuff is real, and you're going to start seeing more things more often. So I actually feel like the holdup now is for pink purple hearts. I don't feel like it's far out. I feel like at the most maybe the first week of March, but I feel like the holdup is actually they're worried about all the health stuff going on. But I don't feel like it's that far out. So hang in there. I don't feel like it's that far out. I don't I'm not showing a specific which day, but it feels like very, very soon. I won't forget to include the link. Craig, I actually feel like that orb at the very beginning was for you. I don't know if that makes any sense. Sherry, I still am not feeling your husband. I'm sorry. Would his personality have been sort of like not into wanting to do this and not being a very spiritual person? Because you have to understand that then there's so much they just don't come through in like these big groups like this. With mediumship, if they don't show up on their own when we do live readings like this, it's not because um they don't love you or they're not around. It's just it's hard. There's a whole bunch of people fighting, and this is not like in a gallery reading when I'm with you, I'm sort of the energy is much stronger. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just a totally different way of reading. Um, they just show up differently. And I wish I knew why they do. Sometimes some of them are so popped in. Someone's cousin came in a few weeks ago, or maybe a month or two. I don't know. My time runs together, and she was like so strong and so forward. And some of you are just dying and waiting. And it's like, but I also feel like, Sherry, I feel like your husband wasn't like a super spiritual guy. So it's like, he's got to figure out how to communicate to drop his energy down in order to, as I raise mine up in order to meet in the middle. Craig, did your mom have like, was she really sick? Because I saw somebody with a female with a whole bunch of oxygen on, and feeling very weak and frail. I don't know if that makes sense, if that's who that is. That's why I'm not like, she's not talking, but Benita, I feel like no. I feel like Christopher might have some issues, like lean towards addiction. I don't know if that makes any sense. Cancer, yes. Okay. So she's fine. She's coming through. She's fine. But I also feel like she's still like healing. She has a really sweet voice. Does that make sense? And brown hair. I feel like brown hair might have it not yeah, brown. Did you ask for her to show up as an orb or to let you see her or somehow let you know? Because that's what I'm wondering. That's the feeling is that orb was her for you. Um, there's also just such a sense of relief. Um, was there something with her lower jaw? I just feel like something's not right in my lower jaw. You don't have to send her energy. She's okay. It's like one of those things that sometimes we have to work on some healing. Um, I don't know if I'm feeling your energy or hers right now because it just feels like that sobbing feeling when you just release and sob. False teeth. Okay. Good. That's just a validation for you. So I'm like, my lower jaw does not feel right. It was funny because I felt like I wanted to say false teeth, but whole bottom set. Okay, good. So that is a validation that it's her coming through. Um, I just feel relieved, like just like such a weight is lifted off of me. I feel like she was really in a lot of pain towards the end and just tired and ready to be done. Like I fought and fought and fought and fought as long as I could, and I just needed to be done. Do you tend to hold back and be a people pleaser? Because she said to me, "Speak your truth and don't be afraid to hold like, don't be afraid to hold back," like, or "Don't be afraid and hold back." Is that what you're saying? Yes. Because I feel like, she wants to remind you of that. Just don't always feel like you have to people please or sort of, um, what is it? Dim your light so that other people aren't, upset. She also feels like she doesn't wanna be the center of attention because she's sort of, like, kind of already pulling her energy back, but she said, so it's like someone who doesn't want to be at the center of attention. These are all things that would just be validations for you because she actually kissed me on the cheek here and said, "Okay, love, I have to go." Um, she doesn't wanna take up too much time. She's very sweet. Um, she says, "You'll be okay," and she's gonna visit you. Sherry, I tell me your husband's name. I'm gonna have a talk with him in spirit tonight. Give him a talking to. If anything, just to give me a message during the week and I can pass it along at the next reading. Um, she only had 2 boys. What did I say that said anything other than 2 boys? No, it's just the feeling of that's what you're after. Okay. Yeah, she just feels very sweet. And she says not to be a people pleaser. Feels like you sort of like, I don't know, it's just that feeling of, like, not stepping forward so that other people can have, shine their light. Chrissy, I'm not taking any new readings tonight. It's already way after 10 o'clock. I'm so late tonight. I'm just finishing up my other questions. Okay. Did I answer? Okay. Destiny Claire, is there any way you could reach out to your great grandmother? Um, did she have wild hair? Like, I feel like I tried to pull it back or whatever, but I just have all these like crazy little flyaways. Does that make sense? And she's little and she's wearing like, like a grandma gown, like a grandma nightgown. Oh my God, Craig, thank you for staying up. I feel bad that I was late tonight because I actually was walking down my stairs to the basement. I was like, oh God, these poor people in the UK, like, because I know I have people in the UK that watch me. You're very welcome. I'm sorry about your loss. She'll be with you though. Serena, I haven't gotten to you yet. Um, Thanks for liking my video, Sherry or Chrissy. It's my aunt's name. Well, he's still hard-headed, Sherry. That doesn't change. Their personalities come through. Um, oh, geez. Oh. Okay, Destiny Claire, I don't know if you're still here. So, I saw another question for you. I was hoping you would answer something, but, um okay, so it was you, Lisa. Okay. Thank you for subscribing, Craig. Get some sleep. Okay, I don't know if Destiny's still here. It's so late, y'all. I'm so sorry. Okay. Wow. Oh my God, where the hell is this time up here? Okay, gaps. Yeah. Um, oh goodness gracious. Yeah, I answered yours. Okay, so I think no name. Will you make amends again? We'll talk and make amends again. And heartbrokenness. He was the wrong idea. Maybe because he wouldn't listen. I don't feel like you'll talk or make amends again. And you can't make anybody listen. You can work on yourself and work on your own communication patterns. And sometimes when you heal yourself, what you see is like, oh, I really wasn't doing anything wrong. And this person's just a ding dong. Or you see like, oh, maybe if I would have approached it differently, they would have received it differently because our intentions are always different than what the impact is, right? So you may intend for something to come out one way, but somebody receives it a totally different way and you have no control over that. But that's the best I can tell you, but I don't feel like it. I feel like it's like sort of for you to learn the lesson and sort of look inward and do a little bit of introspective work and healing on yourself. Mimi, how does Dario really feel about you? I'm not feeling a huge connection. Um, I keep feeling like move on, that yours is this is not the connection for you. Destiny Claire, I don't know if you're still here. Your relationship with your boyfriend, it doesn't feel like it's a long-term relationship. It feels like it'll fizzle out by the end of the year. Actually, sooner than that, but definitely not Pat. You won't be going into 2021. Okay, I think I'm got to everybody. I'm just reading any little thing. I will okay. Goodness gracious. Okay. I'll come back and read all of this, but I will include If you haven't hit the like button, please hit it. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. I come back. I do this every week. This is a really significantly long one. I apologize. Um, I try not to have it go this long. I will include the link after I end the session to my cousin's stuff. So if you want to donate, because I don't take payment for this, I do this for free. It's a gift. The universe does actually provide free things. And when I do private readings is where I charge. Oh, congratulations, Craig. Go to bed. Go to sleep. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't snub you, Vicky. Oh, you just subbed. I thought you said you snubbed. I was like, I didn't snub you. I have. But come back next week, and I'm here literally every week. There's in April it might get a little hinky because my husband is having surgery. Um, and I'm on like doing everything duty because he's not gonna be able to lift anything over 5 pounds for a long time. So it may not be as we'll have to figure it out. I'm on full mom house everything duty. So Serene, I didn't your question first of all, okay, your question came after I said no new questions, and I have those boundaries for a reason because otherwise everybody comes in and really wants their questions to answered. So if you please come back next week, I will answer it. I would really appreciate that. And I would really appreciate your understanding. Good night to everybody. May you all have a wonderful, miracle-filled week. Be kind to others. Kindness matters. Kindness is an act of self-love. When you do unto others, you do unto yourself. So kindness out. You're being kind to yourself too. And may everybody feel good and be healed this week. Sweetest dreams to you all. Or good day if you're in Australia. Good night.